Good morning. This is Journal TV and I'm Jerry Clark. Today, Susan Hammond, VDOT Staunton resident district engineer, joins us to take a look at the proposed changes to the I-64 Low Moor exit to address expected congestion as a result of a soon-to-be-built Love's travel stop facility. Welcome, Susan.
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit about the project in Alleghany County. It's going to be one of the largest projects of its kind in our area. What kind of challenges did the designers have with respect to the traffic layout?
One of the most interesting things about this is this is a project that is partly being done because of traffic issues that have been there in the past, but another reason is because we're going to have a pretty significantly sized truck stop that's going to be in the
Pointer time.
Sorry, my arms aren't that long.
This is the county's facility over
Yes,
here.
this is a county building here,
Right.
and then this area through here is going to be where the truck stop is. So considering the traffic issues that are there now, which generally involve some backup of this exit ramp, this is the eastbound exit ramp.
School traffic in many cases.
School traffic, there's some hospital traffic, but there's a large volume of traffic that comes through there, particularly in the AM. And even before the truck stop was planning to go in, we were going to try to address this issue on both of the off ramps in this intersection here. The challenge now is that we've got a different type of traffic, which is heavier traffic. It's a lot of predominantly truck traffic that will be using this exit. But what we wanted to do was to try to make sure that we can address the additional volume and the types of traffic. So what we're planning on doing, there's going to be some lane widening on this ramp right here. We're also going to be installing 3 signals. This is at the eastbound off ramp. There'll be a signal right here. There'll be a signal at the westbound off ramp, and there'll also be another signal that's in front of the truck stop itself. The one thing I will say is that, and this has been a challenge, we need to make sure that we can accommodate both the left and the right turn lanes that are here. There'll be separate turn lanes, which will hopefully accommodate the high volume of right turn traffic that we get through here going to the schools. And then the other thing that I think people need to know is that these signals are going to be timed so that they give priority to interstate traffic. Because the last thing we want to do is to have, we've got high speed traffic that's coming down the interstate with a lower speed traffic at the ramp. So we want to make sure that we've got enough capacity, and also the signal will have some triggers that are in these ramps right here and down in here as kind of a threshold point for when that signal needs to change. So the one thing I'd like to let folks know is that it's going to be very different moving through that intersection after those signals are installed. The biggest thing is that right now people, you come to a stop and a lot of times there's someone that will wave you through. You're not going to have that opportunity anymore because your traffic movement is going to be controlled strictly by the signal itself.
I see.
The other thing is that while all of this is going on, is under construction, there are going to be delays, and I think people need to be prepared for that. One of the reasons why we can't really avoid the delays is because there isn't a good detour route that's in that vicinity. Where Valley Ridge Road goes through, you either have Valley Ridge Road or you have I-64 to get to Covington or vice versa. So that is your detour route, and unfortunately the only way to access either one of them is to go through the interchange.
Well, I think many people will be very interested in that. I know you have many design challenges and people are going to have to be patient. This is one of the biggest projects to happen in Alleghany County, if not since I-64 ever. Can you give us a feel for the timeline when various events will occur with respect to the exit?
We're anticipating on being able to advertise at the end of November. Worst case scenario is the second week of December, but we're really aiming for the end of November. We anticipate being able to receive bids in January of 2017, and we'd really like to have an executed contract by March of 2017 with work underway in May and with a completion in December. And this is a very aggressive schedule, but one of the things that's really important to us is to make sure that we try to keep all of this work in one construction season. So I don't think anybody would be really excited about us having to go through this for 2 summers. So we want to keep it to one construction season, and in order to do that, we are planning on having an incentive in the contract for early completion to kind of, contractors have a lot of really innovative things that they can try to help save time, and we want to give them an opportunity to do that, so we're planning on putting an incentive in the contract.
That's pretty smart. This is about a $4.3 million project. Is this unique with VDOT, where you're basically revenue share or cost sharing? It's $4.3 million with VDOT paying half, and then the remaining half being paid by Loves in Alleghany County.
The program for revenue sharing has been available for many years. It's a neat program because what it does is it allows a locality to request funding as long as a project is in their secondary 6-year plan, and this project has been was added the year before they made their application. But it allows them to make use, if say they want to accelerate construction and they don't want to wait what would normally be the time frame for building up funds to be able to get to preliminary engineering and then into right-of-way and construction. This gives them an opportunity to accelerate that acquisition of funds. And part of it is because they're willing to, it's a 50-50 match. So if they make a really good application and they are approved, then 50% of that money is already in place, and that's what happened with this one. We had the estimate for the project was $4 million, and last year the county applied for revenue sharing funds, and they didn't quite get everything that they wanted. They got about $3.4 million, and so this year they have reapplied for funds, and the difference is that last year they were a Tier 2 application because nothing, had started on the project. But this year, since they're moving into a Tier 1 because we're already in the preliminary engineering stages, and they're making an application for the remaining amount. So I feel very confident that they'll be able to do that. But I think the portion of matching funds that the county applied for, there was an agreement between them and Loves, and so there's a combination of funds. I would say that it is very unusual that a project goes this fast. Normally it takes, usually about 5 or 6 years to get something.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that.
Yeah, to get to this stage, and so the fact that this, we've managed to do this in less than 2 years is truly remarkable, and we've had some really good staff and great support from the county because this is a priority for them too. So it's a really good way to have some creative funding to get a project moving that's very important to economic development in the county.
Well, it looks like you've been very thorough in this effort, and individuals and county residents who were interested in more information can go to VDOT's website, where there are graphics and all kinds of details to help you understand the complete scope of the project. And finally, Susan, are there any other big road-related projects nearby that residents should be interested in?
There is, as far as something that may impact people's time, we are planning to do a bridge replacement project that is on Route 696, Low Moor Road, and that is in between the railroad trestle right there outside the hospital and where you turn to go down into Rich Patch. There's a bridge that's in that curve, and we are planning on doing that, but it won't start until probably the spring of 2018. Hopefully we will be completely finished with everything in Low Moor, and we won't.
All smooth sailing.
Our goal is not to have both of the projects under construction at the same time.
Well, thanks for taking time to drop in and speak with us today. And we hope residents who need more information will visit the VDOT site. And Susan shows up at the Board of Supervisors every month to make a report. And thanks again for being here.